Welcome back to Great Day. The NAACP's Houston branch will celebrate 100 years of relevancy, re-engagement, and rights after their Centennial Freedom Fund Awards dinner. And here with more is Yolanda Smith, Executive Director of the NAACP Houston branch, along with Roger Harris, the co-chair of the Freedom Fund Awards dinner. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, 100 years. Let's go back 100 years and talk about the genesis of the NAACP.
Well, our NAACP Houston branch was founded by a group of brave leaders in Houston that really kind of started out of the Camp Logan riot. That was really the impetus in working with our national NAACP, our national office, and leaders within our national organization found it the right time because of all of the chaos and as people call the mutiny that happened in 1917. That was really a right position for us to start our Houston
branch. And you say
branch.
Brave leaders, and I think to some later generations are like, what do you mean brave? This is something that should have happened. You know, the rights that they fought for, they should have always had, but it was a different time.
Much different time. You know, fast forward to the 40s and the 50s when a lot of sit-ins downtown Houston and over at TSU. So, you know, there have been a lot of activities that's happened over the 100 years that has improved, you know, relations for people of color, but yet there's still much more work to do.
Yeah, in fact, in the 1960s when the Civil Rights Bill was passed, there were people who kind of breathed a sigh of relief and said, now we're done. We're not done. We have to always be vigilant on something like this.
Absolutely, and we're seeing it today, just with the activities that's going on here in Houston, as well as across the country.
You have three vital committees. The advocacy, so with advocacy, what is it that you all do?
The committees are our advocacy committees, and we actually have about 22 committees, but there are some key priorities that we work on to include our voting rights, our election, our activities with our youth enrichment programs, as well as even our housing program.
Yeah, and with that housing program, because we know that, you know, although slavery ended in 1865, the holdover has been, you know, from generation to generation.
Absolutely.
Poverty from generation to generation, lack of education from generation to generation. And so if you can provide that foundation, housing is one of those things.
And we clearly see that housing is a civil right. When we look at the statistics now that African Americans have about 42% of home ownership, whereas our counterparts are in the 70s, that is an issue that we have to continue to work on. But the backbone of the NAACP has always been and will be our legal redress advocacy, and that is us providing legal services and litigation for those who might not otherwise have those resources.
Yeah, fair representation. All right, celebrating our relevancy, re-engagement, and rights. So explain what goes behind kind of the title of this particular centennial celebration.
Well, certainly we want people to understand that the NAACP is still vibrant and that we have to re-engage, and not only within our demographics, but in the younger demographics, to make sure that the groups kind of come together to understand what the rights are, what we're really, you know, fighting for, as opposed to try to do it, you know, in silos.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I think sometimes when people are in those silos and they think that, you know, this stuff is stuff that happened a long time ago. It doesn't happen anymore. It does happen every day. You know, we see it in news stories and a whole bit. And so with the NAACP, it's like our thing is we come together to find answers, but make sure people are aware that it's not over.
It's certainly not over, and that's the thing. At the core and at the end of the day, the foundation has always been to fight discrimination. And we know even in subtle ways, it is definitely still going on. And so the importance right now for us in even bringing up our younger generation is for them to understand. It's not just the walk-ins and the sit-ins that our grandparents and our ancestors worked with or worked very hard on, but it's those issues that we're, again, tackling still today.
Yeah, you said grandparents. Like, for me, it's my parents, because it's 95 and 97.
Yes.
And so it wasn't that long ago. It was just a generation ago. And then I can speak for myself. I was born during the time that the Civil Rights Bill was actually passed. Do I have any other takers?
I'm right there with you.
You're right there with me. Okay, good. She looked at me and smiled and went, oh, good for you. All right. Okay, tell us about the Freedom Fund Awards dinner.
So, as you mentioned earlier, the dinner is going to take place Friday, October 26th at the Marriott Marquis. And so we're going to honor some individuals in an organization, the AFL-CIO and Congressman Al Green, former president of the NAACP, now board member Howard Jefferson, Kim Ogg, and Rod Page and Rodney Ellis for different areas, civil rights and education, criminal justice.
All the components it takes to, make change. Yes.
Correct. And so it's going to be a fantastic evening. It's going to be a fabulous evening. And we're going to do some reenactments and have some singing and some celebration.
Yeah. And once again, there it is on your screen. The Freedom Fund Awards Dinner is Friday, October 26th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Marriott Marquis. For more information, visit NAACPHouston.org. Thank you very much. And have a great day, everybody.